All right, so let's solve this equation. We have 1/4 times, in parentheses, 3x minus 1, plus 1/6 times, in parentheses, x plus 3, equals 3. Okay, so this looks like a pretty interesting equation, right? And the reason why is because we have the fractions here. Okay, now we also see the parentheses. Okay, so we know that every time we see a parentheses, we want to distribute what is in front, but we have fractions, okay? So there are a couple ways to approach this, but what I like to do is I like to eliminate the fractions very in the beginning, okay? So when we say that, what do we mean? Okay, so we have this term right here, right? Remember, this represents one term. We also have this, which is one term, and in this case, it's 3, right? Or just 3 over 1. So what we want to do is we want to multiply each term by the LCD, okay? So what do we notice here? Now remember, this is just a 3 over 1, so that really doesn't matter. But we have a 4 and a 6, right? So we want to determine what the LCD is. Okay, a couple ways to do this. But what I like to do is I like to just write out the factors, right? What are the factors of 4? Well, they're 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, so on and so forth. And what are the factors of 6? There's 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, so on and so forth. Okay, so is there any number that they have in common? Or, better yet, what is the smallest number that they have in common? And in this case, we see that they have a 12 in common, and that's actually the smallest number that they have in common, right? So that is the LCD. So we want to multiply each of these terms by the LCD. So let me write this out a little bit so that there's a little bit more space here, okay? And then what we want to do is we want to multiply each term by 12. Okay, so let's do that. Let's multiply the first term by 12 here. We'll multiply the second term by 12. But remember, we also have to multiply this term by 12 as well. Okay? Notice what happens. What is this? What is 1/4 times 12? Well, 12 in the numerator, we have a 4 in the denominator. That just equals 3, right? So we get 3 times 3x minus 1. Here we have a 12 in the numerator. We have a 6 in the denominator. 12 divided by 6 is equal to 2. Right? Notice I'm not multiplying each term in the parentheses by 12 also, right? Because we've sort of used it already, right? We've multiplied the 12 times the 1/6, which is 2. So that 12 is essentially gone, right? We've already used it in arithmetic here. So we're left at x plus 3. And then the other side, right, 3 times 12, we just have 36. Okay, now at this point, we've sort of got rid of all the fractions, and now we should be able to solve this as we normally do. All right, so in this case, we want to distribute through all the parentheses, right? So let's multiply each term by 3 here, right? 3 times 3x is 9x. And we have 3 times the negative 1, which is minus 3. Here, we want to distribute 2 to each term inside. So 2 times x is just 2x. And 2 times positive 3 here gives us plus 6, which equals 36, okay? Remember, on this, we still want to combine like terms on the equal sign, right? So on the left side here, what can we combine? Well, 9x plus 2x, right? That equals 11x. Negative 3 plus 6, which equals positive 3. Okay? So now we're down to our last couple steps, right? So we want to solve for x. You notice there's no x term on the other side of the equal sign, which is good, right? So from here, I want to just subtract the 3 to both sides. So I got 11x, which is equal to 33. And for the very last step, right, in order to isolate x, we want to divide both sides by 11. So the 11's cancel out, which we expect, right? So we're left with just x. And what do we get on the other side? 33 divided by 11, which is equal to 3, right? So what does that tell us then? It tells us then that 3 is the solution to this equation.